Good, dude.
Good morning, Calvin.
Morning, Weller. Morning, Daw. Rockin' them jumbo.
Top of the day, homeboy.
Good morning to you, Weller.
Sunday, August 26th.
Oh, shit. Right out of the box with the the fucking date, dude.
Coming correct, brother.
Oh, my third cup of coffee. It's feeling good, dude.
I got two. I had two this morning. Mom just said,
Excuse me.
all cranked out.
Feeling low, dude. Let me clear my throat. Right?
How does that go?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Who was that?
I don't.
Was it Public Enemy?
No. It's not Public Enemy.
I listened to this shit the other day. Do you remember Mantronics?
No.
Mantronics, Needle to the Groove or Groove to the
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
Needle to the Record.
I listened to the OG shit yesterday.
Yeah.
The old fucking I come Zimba Zimba Zio.
I got a Zimba Zimba Z. I got a Zimba Zimba Zio. I got a Zimba Zimba Z. We are they, the Fairside Falcons. We are they, the Fairside Chiefs.
I
Go,
come
a
Zimba
deer,
Zimba.
a female deer.
I don't know what that is.
Rain, a drop of golden sun. I don't know. That was for the Fairside Falcons. You know who you are. They don't sing that shit at school no more, man.
You sure?
They don't have that kind of stuff, dude. No, none of my kids know that song, dude.
Really?
No.
Huh.
I think that fucking... They stopped having school spirit like that, dude.
Really?
I was singing the God, our alma mater,
I don't even know what
to
that
thee
is.
our voices
I don't know
sing.
one word of that.
Yes,
fucking
you
thing.
do.
I
At the
don't know.
very end, everybody goes, oh, hell.
I never sang that song one time.
Hell. You did, dude.
Fuck all Warriors,
dude. Dude, no. You can't fucking go back on your shit, dude.
I was
It's
just
like
playing.
stabbing your brother in the back or something. That's bad, dude. All right, man. So what do we got? Oh, we got
Do your shots.
yeah, we've been fucking pimping it out, dude. I mean, what did we get, like 151 likes this week on Facebook or something?
151 following.
Followers. Damn, dude. So we got a bunch, and we tried. We think some of these people are robots, right?
No, they probably are robots. They're
Yeah.
probably Russian bots.
They're probably trying to affect the elections coming up.
At Sean Farm, they're trying to push it
Yeah,
Sean
they're-
Farmer's way.
You see that the signs coming in, dude?
Yeah, I seen that this morning. That's cool.
I like it, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're watching, Sean, you got to put one down at the end of Simmerhorn down here.
Listen to Frasier, man.
Yeah, because it's right over by Chevron where everybody gets off of the freeway right there. Because that other cat.
What percentage of people will vote for him more if he does that?
Oh, at least 13.
I love those percentages.
13 to 17%
I love Frasier percentages.
of tax-paying males from the ages of 18 to 36.
Okay, you
Yeah.
got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You got a demographic.
Pretty much. But yeah, we got 151 this week, so that's a bunch. So what we did was we just went through and picked out some names, and we'll throw a few of them out there.
Go ahead.
What's up to Casey Huft? Thanks for checking us out. This one's cool. It sounds like a robot named Prince Mufasa Muhammad.
Is that from Lion King?
I thought it was Lion King, dude. It might just be his handle. Dale Robbins, Donnell Pope, Vikram Singh, Feline Belils. This one's cool right here. Millie Montre,
A.K.A.
Young Millie. What's up, Young Millie? Flipkart Mabine. He's actually from Lodi. And those are the ones we kicked down because they were, not just your regular names. We don't, little different stuff. But
We're a little different.
yeah, we got an offer of a special guest to show up today, but
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can make time. We're gonna get in.
we'll get into that.
Yeah, Harold Flory's supposed to be in today if he can make time.
And then don't know if you guys checked it out or not, but we had a guest, Mark Ruiz. Remember he was doing the Cal exit.
Evans, okay.
Yeah, Mark Ruiz Evans.
Yeah.
He is on Tucker Carlson and a couple other shows this week, so
All right.
he basically got his stardom on the show, dude. So
Everybody using us for
Yeah.
fucking fame, dude.
all 86 people that watch every week, we appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
You guys are doing shit, big shit.
heard Jason Weller is gonna be fucking running the homosexuals now after this show.
The ICW's after this guy, dude. I noticed you got a fella shirt on this week too,
Oh,
dude.
you like it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the OG shit, dude.
That's the OG shit.
That box of the new stuff I'm giving out to
You said to the fire victims?
fire victims, dude. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. Through the Facebook and other couple on YouTube and stuff, man. I think we got close to like 150 pounds of clothing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's fucking. I don't know what it all is, but it's heavy. You know, you know what I'm saying?
Did you go through it already and see what fits you?
No, I need to get. That's what I told the girls because we just did school clothes shopping and stuff. So I was like, hey, get all your old shit because everybody in the fire needs stuff. I don't care if it's shoes. Dude, my wife threw some underwears and stuff like that in there. I wasn't thinking about that, but
Yeah, I don't know if you know. I'm going to Santa Rosa a couple days a week because we're doing some stuff up there, and it's, dude, you go into a neighborhood and it looks like there's about 100 houses that were just leveled with fire. They already took out the foundations and everything.
Yeah.
But they're just pads everywhere. So in every court you go to, they're just building new houses.
Yeah.
So that was about a year ago.
yeah,
About a year ago.
last
So
November,
they're just
yeah.
barely. Those people are just barely getting back to where they're going to be able to get their houses in. So, man, that's devastating. And what's weird is you go through, dude, and you'll see like all these houses, and it'll be like one house that didn't get touched.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird how fire works, man. It just bounces around.
We do the same. All our shit we do is underground, but that ground gets so hot it fucking melts the risers and the fucking
What
services.
they're doing, even in the courts, they're tearing apart the streets. They got to go underneath the streets and redo all the new conduit and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, for electrical too, man. I mean, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
But it's money for on the other side. It's money people are working. That's I mean, you can see the good part of that.
So what do we got this week?
Oh man, we got a bunch of shit this week. What do you want to start on, man? It's up to you.
You're the shot caller, man. You're the fucking.
Well, throw it out there, man. Let's start with that CBD oil stuff, man.
I don't know too much about it. Do you?
I know that they use it for, like you were saying earlier, like they say use it for seizures.
Epileptic attacks.
And it doesn't get you high. It's got like a 2% THC,
Very little.
Yeah, I think maybe it's less than 2% is what it is. But normal weed's got like, 15%. Maybe some really bomb shit might have like 25 or 30%.
They got some shit that's like 60, 70%.
That's that skunk.
That fucking Snoop was talking about. I was listening to him.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you. That shit'll fucking, it's like crack.
It is. It's green crack, dude. And they started making those super strands in London, dude.
That's
and they call it skunk weed. That's the type of weed it is. They're like we got indica or sativa.
Yeah.
They call it skunk, and that's that shit that's over 50% THC.
But I know a guy that was his dog was having epileptic attacks, so that they gave him like little CBD cookies, and they fucking took away the epileptic attacks.
Yeah, dude.
And they're doing it in humans now with epilepsy. They're giving them the CBD, and it's eliminated. Did you see that girl that was having like 200 a day or some shit like that? Now they're down to like 7 a year or something.
They call it Charlotte's Web is with the
You're right.
weed.
Yeah. That's fucking pretty neat, man. It just goes to show you how much power the pharmaceutical companies. When something actually really will heal you, and they won't make it legal because the pharmaceutical companies don't want to make sure they monetize off it.
Well, I am a strong advocate, dude, for making weed legal because I believe it would take away the other pills that are out there, the Norcos, the Oxycontins, the Vicodins. Weed is a pain reliever, I think, it may not sustain the pain relief as long as 2 or 3 hours, but if you get loaded every half hour or so, that pain relief can
But I think the CBD should be legal now, like today. Like I was listening to a basketball player. He's retired, but he was talking about how it helps him with recovery. They take CBD, so he's retired and he's still playing basketball. But he's after an athlete for so many years, professional athlete, their body's so fucking worn down.
Oh fuck yeah!
They
dude.
take CBD. He said I take CBDs, and he goes, my body just feels 100 times better. He goes, we were taking like during the season, we would have to take painkillers, everything that was legal.
Yeah.
He goes, so because we wanted to play. But then when I retired, we start taking these CBDs, and it doesn't fucking affect me. It makes me feel so much better. So why won't they make it legal?
Dude, it's all money, dude. It's
bullshit.
It's behind everything. Money's behind everything, man. But why are they gonna let you be able to grow something and at little to no cost for yourself? You know what I mean? Just basic water, some nutrients, stuff like that. Where you're paying $300-$400 a month to a pharmaceutical company.
It's bullshit.
You know what I mean?
Bullshit. We talked about that a lot, though.
Yeah, we have, but I'm down with that CBD. Fucking make that shit legal, dude.
Yeah.
my wife's aunt came over. She's old school from El Salvador, and she wanted all the leaves off the plant. She didn't want the buds. She wanted the leaves off the plant because they make something with a rubbing alcohol, a couple other spices, but they make this thing up and they soak a towel in it, and then you wrap it around your wrist that hurts or your ankle. You wrap the towel around it, and it like gets into your skin, your pores and shit, and fucking your wrists feel a lot better, dude.
Okay.
That's an old school, like,
no,
you know what I mean?
I believe they've been doing that shit for hundreds of years, dude.
Dude, that's what I'm saying too. I mean,
the only thing I don't want is I don't want people to mix poops. I don't want nobody mixing poops. I don't want fucking.
You're taking it to another level, dude, with the mixing of poops, dude. Did you see that meme, pooping back force forever?
No.
Oh, dude, it's like the what's that one? The badger, a badass nasty badger. Have you seen that guy? Dude, like a little badger is one of the fucking
right. They'll fight anything. A bear, whatever.
Fucking cobra snake.
Yeah.
The snake fucking.
I think they're used to the venom.
Yeah, it hits him, and he's eating the snake, even though it hit him, and then he passes out, and he's all.
That's evolution.
Yeah, he's all locked up for like 2 minutes,
and then comes back.
Then he just comes out of it.
Yeah, because they've been bit so many times by those over time that they fucking be immune to that.
I think it's fucking cool as fuck, dude.
Yeah, they're badass.
And I want a badger tattoo.
Oh, okay.
Honey badger, that's what it is.
Honey badger.
Honey badger don't give a shit. Mm-mm. The guy that's narrating it, you can tell he's into homosexual activities. But the narration on that's so funny, dude.
Homosexual activities. We're all homosexuals, dude.
I'll pimp anything.
Sex outside the family realm, you're homosexual.
Yeah. That's in the fucking guidelines, dude, of being American.
What?
That homosexual activity deal. If you read the handbook on being American, it's like number 3.
Oh, man. That's why this country's the greatest country in the world. Because we got people like that who could be just fucking roaming around free, dude. In any other country, that motherfucker would be fucking head chopped off, dude.
Or he'd be on medication, man.
He'd be in the front line, fucking really actually doing it.
I think the whole deal with that guy, man, is he just had his terminology mixed up. That's all I think it is.
He's got his whole fucking life mixed up.
Yeah, but if you think of it, you just transplant words, right? Like infidelity instead of homosexuality, then it makes sense.
All right, for you it don't make no sense to me. Nothing that comes out of his mouth makes sense.
I talked to my son about this before, and my other kids too, but when you have an honoring agreement, you're going out with someone, boyfriend, girlfriend, right? Or if you're boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. But you should honor that, you know what I mean? Even though you're not married, you honor it like, hey, I'm not going to go sleep around or fucking be with other people if I'm with you.
Okay.
What, you think you should have an open relationship? Like you didn't bone anybody?
No. I've said okay. Whatever you say, okay.
Dude, I'm married, so I ain't got to worry about it.
Whatever you want to do, Fresh.
Well, so that's it on the CBD oils?
Yeah, I don't know too much about it. I just think it should be legal.
Yeah, I think there's... what else do you think should be legal, man?
Fuck. I don't know. Mixing poops?
I think gambling should be legal, and I think they should...
legal, right? It is legal.
Well, like, they're just doing the sports betting shit. Like, you can just go to sports books and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you can go to any indie casino, which is anywhere now, and go gamble.
Yeah, California, but other states, I mean...
Well, they got them all over in other states, dude.
See, I'm like, fucking, make everything legal. I don't make crack legal.
You want all drugs legal?
I want everything legal. Dude, just like, if you want to do it... Here's what... We'll see.
Not fucking kidnapping and rape and...
Well, see, those are breaking laws. I mean...
That's illegal.
Kidnapping and rape, that's like in the realm of illegal immigrants, dude. I mean, you're
that's
talking...
right. That's all they do, right?
Yeah,
that's all they send us over. They're rapists.
Yeah. Yeah. If you take any part of something, just a little part of something that somebody said, dude, you can make it sound like whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, and they do that shit, so...
That's why we have news outlets.
Well, I got a booger. You're doing...
No, I was itching.
Oh, no, I get that way. Like, what's going on? All right, so we'll close out CBDs in. What do we got, man? You want to talk about some hypocrites?
Hypocrites? We're all hypocrites. I'm the biggest hypocrite of them all. I'll be the first to admit. I think you can say you're a hypocrite, but you're just trying. You're actually trying just to do fucking better. You know, there's very few people that I think that are like fucking who they are is who they are. We all try to placate to fucking somebody. We all try to...
whatever audience you're with.
Yeah, we mostly do. There's a few people that don't, and those are few and rare. Okay, take our boy. This is who I think is not a hypocrite in a certain sense. Is DG. DG is who he is,
Yeah.
right? He has no apologies. You know, whether I agree with some of the stuff or not, he is who he is, and he's open. You know, you feed him information, he'll look and read it. He'll check it out. I mean, we have biases. Whatever we think, we have biases. That's just what we'll fucking never see that side of the fucking argument. But DG is a person that even if he sees something though that he'll say, no, this is what I believe. I don't give a fuck. I mean, he's unapologetic. I respect him. I respect him for that. You know what I mean? Because he is who he is, and he's not a character. You know, I'm a character. You're a character.
Yeah.
I'm a hypocrite. You know, we're all hypocrites. Most of the people are hypocrites.
Yeah, I'm not. I basically live by what I say, so I'm so sorry for you.
We all change. This whole country is based on hypocrisy. Every country is based on hypocrisy. We're fucking government's hypocrites. Fucking in every aspect of life, we're just fucking hypocrites. And I don't know. You just got to try to do better.
Well, I think that if you're gonna give information out, or like you go golfing, right? Everybody can tell you what you're doing wrong, or how you hit the ball. You should hit the ball better. Or bowling, you're bowling. People will say, "Hey, you should slow the ball down, or maybe throw it over here, this and that." And they tell you how to do shit yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're not doing it themselves. They're not doing what they're telling you to do. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know, here's the difference. Like if I'm bowling, I'm a 180 bowler, and somebody that's a 220 bowler tells me, hey, Fraser, you ought to do this. I'm thinking about it. I'm going, you know what? You're probably right. You're a lot better bowler than me. I should probably listen and see what you're doing. But if somebody that's like a 120 or a 130 average is trying to tell me how to bowl, it's fucking in one ear and out the other. You know what? I think whoever that information's coming from depends on.
True, because then you see what kind of lifestyle they're living. I think that goes a long ways with like religion too, because you see somebody who's living like not a perfect life, but they're trying, you know, and they don't come and preach to you every day, and they're not telling you what you're doing is wrong, you're gonna go to hell, and they're just trying to live good, and they. You know, you watch him and you're like, okay, you know what? I want to check out what this guy's all about, because he is living what he's talking about, or he's trying to, because none of us are perfect. At least they're trying to.
Yeah, that's that dude with Baha'i. You just made me have that fucking flashback on that, because I seen how he was living his life and how his yard was looking, how his house was put together. I mean, I was like, this individual got his shit together. So I was like in tune to what he was saying. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where other fuckers, like, you know, this dude's cheating on his old lady, or fucking he's selling drugs on the side, or doing something shady, right, that his family don't know about, but he's going to church every Sunday, and then he's getting forgiven. That's
the politicians.
Yeah.
You know, like we were talking about earlier, like you got a fucking liberal Democrat who says they're for the people, and they're fucking they want more social programs, and they're trying to fucking help the disenfranchised, and meanwhile they're fucking the ones gentrifying Oakland. Or you got the Republican who's against abortion and who's against homosexual acts, and then their girlfriend outside the fucking marriage is having an abortion, or they get caught fucking some guy in some bathroom. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're all fucking hypocrites, and usually the people who are screaming the loudest about something are usually hiding the most.
No, I love seeing that old school shit. Like, you go back on Feinstein, where she's totally for building the wall and, you know, fucking putting together an immigration plan, all that stuff.
It's whatever at the moment.
Yeah, and then it flips. Same thing with same-sex marriage. If you go back on Hillary and Barack, when they're talking about same-sex marriage and they're against it, and then all of a sudden the tide flips and they're for it. And I'm sure that stuff's going to come out on Trump too. And it's just funny to see those how. But you can evolve too.
Yeah, like yeah. I didn't believe in that shit before, and now I'm like, hey, live and let live. I've evolved from that point. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I used to say that shit, right? Because you could go back on anybody and use the shit they said 10 years ago against them, and you say, well, now you're saying this.
That's part of it
but
too.
But I'm saying this now because I actually now I don't believe that same shit. Like fuck this author that I read. I can't even fucking think of his name. I threw a fucking fart. But like
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, Dr. Seuss. He wrote The Outliers and shit like that. But he even said, they said, well, I watched somebody say, bro, I really like their book. You know, I'm really starting to live by your book. He goes, well, that's 5 years ago. I don't even believe in that no more. Yeah. Like they people evolve.
Well, and I think people do it different ways too. Like you may evolve from, uh, I don't know, an independent into a Republican, and then you're a Democrat. Your views on things as you get older change.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of it too. The aging process.
Right.
You get more knowledge about shit, and
That's the problem right now, though, because social media, everybody's tweeting out shit, right? So 5 years from now, you're not going to believe the same shit you tweeted out 5 years ago,
yeah,
right?
and they're gonna have a fucking log of
And
your
of
tweets.
everything that you, because people, I was listening to this, people in the past, they would have never let Martin Luther King be Martin Luther King if we had social media back then, because he cheated on his wife, right?
Yeah.
It would have been in every news outlet, and then his whole message would have got fucking buried, right? So that's the stuff that we're gonna lose now, is because people can't. People won't let other people evolve, so they're gonna use shit against them from 5 years ago.
Well, I think they, what do they say? You got to fake it till you make it kind of shit. Well, I think that's the way it is. They really don't give a fuck about you until you do make it or you start to make a change. And then you're fucking put in the frying pan and they start chopping you
Every
up.
level, dude. It matters in your own personal life and politics and whatever. If people start seeing you have some sort of success, they want to knock you down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're haters, man. I mean, there's haters all over, dude.
And,
I mean,
yeah, haters and hypocrites.
You know, the other thing about being a hypocrite, though, man, is you can't be that way with your kids. If you expect your kids to fucking do something, you better walk the walk and show them, you know.
Well, in certain circumstances, yes. If you're talking about lying and stealing and whatever, but some stuff like drinking alcohol, okay, it's an adult thing. It's not a child thing. So if a kid says, "Well, you do it, why can't I?" Because I'm an adult, you're a child.
Yeah.
You can't
Well,
do
that's
that right now.
that's a straight fucking down the line argument right there. When you're fucking 21, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You're an adult, right? I mean, you can't drink at 18, so if you want to drink when you're 21, that's fine.
Yeah, but you drink when you're in fucking high school.
I never lie, dude. I tell my kids the truth about all that shit. I don't care. They can hold me accountable because I told them, you know what? I've done just about every drug except slamming.
Yeah.
I've never put a needle in my arm and fucking gone that route, but I've done just about everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And if they ask me, I'll say, hey, this is what it does. This is what happens, you know? And I was lucky to grow up in an environment, living in the G, dude, where we had a bunch of friends that are only friends, but you have neighbors and you have family members, and it's a tighter community. So if I was fucking around, like, remember I did LSD, and I got
You didn't do LSD. If you did LSD, you'd be dead.
that's it. Yeah.
There's no way you did LSD. You'd be dead by now.
Went to this party off of Collier Road, and I was fucked up. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but I was in the phone booth for like 3 hours. And then the cops finally show up because I was in the phone booth so long. And I remember I was trying to spit on them and shit. And I couldn't spit. It would just barely dribble out of my mouth. But they couldn't tell that I was drunk or high or anything like that because I was on acid. They just thought I was a little fucked up in the head, maybe like a shoob or something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But they fucking took me back to the party where I was like, yeah, there's a party over here, you know? They took me back to the party and shit. But I'll tell my kids all those stories or about how shit does it. Because I honestly believe you're doing a benefit to your kid if they say, hey, Dad, I'm thinking about getting drunk at the next party I go to. First of all, they're being honest with you that they're going to be getting drunk at this party, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to take that into consideration. So
you gotta know your kid though too.
Yeah, what I've done, well, we're 4 kids deep, raised and out of the house, self-sufficient, taking care of themselves kind of shit. So I think we're doing a pretty good job so far. We've got 2 to go. But when they turn 16, and I left it up to them, if they want to get drunk at the house, they can do it because you'll find out like 2 or 3 beers in, these kids, their demeanor, everybody's been drunk before, when you get drunk, your demeanor changes, you talk different, you act different. One of my kids got naked and fucking climbed up a tree and called 911, and it was a bunch of bullshit, but that's going on in the house with some type of guidance, whereas if they go get drunk for the first time at a party, you can get raped. You can get fucking.
That's where you gotta school your kids.
You can get fucking shamed on. Yeah, but they won't know until it's time how they're gonna feel. Where if you let them drink a couple beers, they're gonna get buzzed and be like, "Oh fuck, I don't like
Oh
this.
no, I think that's I fucking did the same thing. I was like, hey, I would get them a fucking couple beers and just so they're able to handle themselves or know where their limit is.
Yeah.
Like have a couple beers when they get. I'm like, when you get to 18, like when my daughter's 18, I'm like, here, have a beer or whatever. Just taste it and then drink it. And then maybe you can feel a buzz. And then you know what your limit is before you go out with people that you don't know who could fucking take advantage of you.
Yeah, man.
No, I agree with that.
And I mean, we've seen it. We've been to those parties. Like for us, I mean, we had each other to fall back on, and
That was probably worse.
we had a circle of trust and shit though.
Yeah,
like,
I guess.
If somebody was super fucked, you remember when
we got violated. You guys violated each other. We violated each other.
Yeah, but I mean, it was friendly fire.
Yeah. I had Ben Gay all over my nuts and my dick.
Dude, but remember three-way OD'd on weed out at Flowmaster's house?
Okay.
I mean, I think that's the first OD on weed ever. But we didn't know, but we were watching him, making sure he was breathing and fucking checking his oil and everything. I mean,
but that's probably worse, dude.
No, but that happens.
You think that's why he became a fucking mass murderer?
Serial killer?
Serial killer?
I don't know, dude. Quite possibly, dude.
Where are the bodies, dude?
He gave me the fucking best scenario for getting rid of a body, and when he did, I was like, my mind flipped. It was like, holy shit, this guy might really be a killer.
You ever meet somebody like that and you're talking to them and they're all shifty with their eyes or all looking like this? You're like, now I'm like, where are the bodies, bro?
Yeah.
Where are the bodies?
Dude, I got one guy at work. Yeah, I was like, every time I see him, I'm like, he's fucking Dexter. Have you seen that show?
I know what you're talking about, but I didn't watch it.
Oh my god, dude, that's a good binger right there, Dexter, because he kills people in every episode, and then he shows you how to get away with it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to kill people.
I'm about to kill nobody, dude.
I don't know, man. But, as for hypocrites and shit like that, dude, you are one. You just don't know it. You don't think about it.
Just say you are. Just say, I'm a hypocrite. But I'm going to try. I'm just going to try to do what I believe in.
Yeah.
That's it. We all have those times where it actually, I think this is all good and dandy, and then it affects you. Then you're like, maybe not so much. Or you think, or you're fucking, I work with a guy who's fucking, bashing gays, and come to find out his fucking brother-in-law is gay, and all of a sudden now he's, you know what, they're okay. You know what, they're good people. And you start realizing, okay, I was wrong, That's how you evolve.
Well, I think that's it, getting older, you do that, but, I'm trying to think of something I totally flipped on, man. And I don't know, I heard something where it says hatred is a family value.
I believe it.
Think about it, man. And I wasn't raised that way. I mean, I had several different families I grew up with, so I got a good taste of different lifestyles. But you remember, you can go to my mom and dad's house, and you could cuss. Like, they didn't care if we cussed or said fuck or shit or damn or, it was cool as long as I didn't tell my dad, like, hey, you know what, fuck you, dad, or hey, mom, suck my dick, stuff like that.
Golly, that's harsh.
But we could talk that way with each other, and I think it was liberating. And then it got to a point where I didn't want to cuss. I wanted to be respectful and not cuss.
I heard a good quote this week. It said, manners will take you where money can't.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Money buys a lot, dude.
But it doesn't buy you respect.
Yeah.
Doesn't buy you love.
Well,
doesn't buy you friendship. Can't buy you anything, dude. That's real. That's true.
I don't know, dude. That's a Beatles song. Money can't buy me love.
Fuck.
Yeah. I don't know.
Fuck money.
But yeah, see, speaking of that money shit, dude, we were talking about Venezuela, man.
What about it?
So they're a socialist country, right?
Okay.
They're like the third biggest oil producer in the world.
Are they a third world country?
Yeah, but they got they're like, I think they're a second world country, but they have socialism, and I just don't see why you have to search for this information. Why isn't it out in the news where everybody can see what's going on? Because last week a cup of coffee on Monday was $2, and by Wednesday that same cup of coffee was $25.
Fucking Frazier.
Dude, I'm like, what the fuck? A cup of coffee is $25. So what's the steak cost? You know what I mean? But how do people live up with that? I mean,
I don't know. I didn't hear nothing about that.
I think at some point socialism might work, or it's good to a point, and then it's just like anything else. It goes fucking bad, dude.
I don't know. I think a lot of the other countries got it right. I think we work ourselves to death over here in this country, dude. You got the other countries that take 3 months out of the year off, or they work like fucking 30-hour work weeks, and they got. I think we get it wrong. We're wrong, dude. We're so brainwashed, and really the only people making out is the fucking the wealthy.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not making out. We're just barely fucking getting by, living, you know. But I think they got it right as far as work. I mean, we spend our whole life trying to grind it out and trying to fucking figure out how we're gonna retire and, you know, how we're gonna get that fucking $70,000 fucking vehicle, and that's all we spend our fucking time. These people in these other countries, they work 30 hours a week. They get 3 months off. They take naps during work. I mean, and they have a longer lifespan than we do.
Dude, they got that. I know it's in France where they work 3 hours, then they got a 2-hour lunch, and then they go back and they work 3 hours.
Because that's what life's not about, fucking grinding 7 days a week and fucking.
But you think about that any day of the week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, happy days. But
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Saturday love. Yeah, I got that one. But those guys, every day of the week, if you had an appointment or doctors or had to do some banking or whatever it is, you need to take time off from work sometimes, right? You got that every day for 2 hours. And then you're working only a 3-hour stint. So you got the first hour, that's fucking gone. You know? You got 2 hours left till you got a 2-hour break. I'm like, that is a fucking great scenario, man.
Yeah, well, I think we got it wrong. We got it wrong. I mean, I hear it all the time. I mean, we work, you know, big projects and stuff, so we got schedules and deadlines, and it's always that way. It's always like, no, you're going to get your guys to work Saturday, Sunday, right? They're going to work 12-hour days, right? It's like, no, fuck that. Fuck, your emergency is not my problem, dude. Fuck that. You know what?
You get burnt out, too.
Fuck
that's
yeah.
what it is,
But
man.
these guys, developers, want to hurry up and make this turnaround so they can start renting out or start leasing or whatever. They need it. They need it. Yeah. Even though they got fucking hundreds of millions of dollars, they need that revenue. They want that revenue. They see money losing right now, and they're going to recoup their money no matter what. But that's just greed. That's just fucking greed. It's human nature.
It is, man. And here's the other thing, man. Like, if you make fucking $30 an hour, somebody else is waiting in line to do it for $25 an hour. You know? That's the truth of the matter, too. And I heard a really good deal this week about migrant workers, and this guy had a dude out on the farm, and he had some equipment go down. Well, this migrant worker was like, hey, I can do that. I can fix that tractor. And he did. He fucking put it together. Everything was fucking wham, bam, thank you, man, kind of shit. And he's like, hey, what are you doing, you know, picking crop? And he's like, well, I do this because I can get this. And then I go back and I live my life the way I want to after season and shit, right? But he's like, what do you do after season? He's like, oh, I'm a fucking large equipment mechanic, right? Mm-hmm. But he's getting paid the same as a large equipment mechanic down in Nogales that he's getting paid for picking crop here. But his fucking technical degrees and shit he's got to doing shit, he just makes better money here. And why can't he become a large equipment operator here? Because he fucking got a felony or some shit. But, dude, that's the way
I don't know.
Dude. was that your dad, dude? Yes, I thought I heard Big Dave right there.
Kevin, I don't know. I don't know. That's all garbage.
Dude, but what it is fucking, if you got love for the game, that changes everything. If you love what you're doing, that changes the whole thing, man. You don't care how many hours you're putting in.
Yeah, as long as you can fucking survive, I guess.
You don't know how. I mean, think about this. If you're going to work and you loved going to work, like that's the thing you wanted to do. Like you weren't waiting for Saturday and Sunday to roll around because you're fucking having fun at work, right? Like I thought about like if I owned a weed shop, selling weed and growing weed and shit, that would be fucking awesome. I mean, like
that's so fucking hard to do. I was listening to Al Harrington, which is an ex-NBA player, but now he has he's growing. You know, he has so go to apply. He said like he was going to New York. There's only 6 licenses that they're gonna allow in New York, and they had like 2,000 or 2,500 applicants. So they got to decide which 6. And for you to have one, you have to have like a $20-30 million company base. Like you have to be rich already to do this. You can't be just a regular person.
You can't mom and pop it.
No, you can't. You can't do that no more. And that's what's gonna happen with the weed stuff. It's like the people got in early are gonna make the fucking money, and the people that have money, like tobacco companies, they're gonna be the ones buying out all these fucking places.
That's exactly what will go down, dude.
Yeah, because you can't just go say, hey, I'm gonna open a fucking dispensary. You can't do that because you gotta apply legally. Because he got raided. He was talking about how he got raided, but he did everything legit.
Everything was on the up and up. All the right paperwork. He dealt with the city, the mayor. He did everything he was supposed to do. And they took him to fucking. The federal government came in, raided his shit, took like $1 million in cash. He eventually got it all back because he did everything legit. But that's somebody who already has money.
Yeah, if you're a mom and pop shop, you ain't got the lawyers or the cash to come out and fight these people for that. It's going on in California too, man, and in other states
the
where
whole
where
country.
it's legalized, because you got people that are growing and making product, but they have no way to sell it because they don't have a card or a license to do it legally. So you're basically forcing them to go to the underground and sell shit under the table.
You can't cross state lines.
And then they're not fucking getting any tax revenue at all from it because now they're underground.
Right.
You know?
And you can't put the money in banks.
I mean, we can't fix shit, but we can put it out there so people think about it at least, man.
Fucking A.
I mean, there's tons of people that watch the show and they're like, hey, you changed my life. And I'm glad we could do that, dude.
Yeah, we get about 50,000 viewers now. The fucking.
What is our We're almost up to 100 on the subscribers, dude.
I think so. Some people, like Flory said, he can't figure out how to subscribe.
Dude,
You just click it.
you just click subscribe.
Well, we're supposed to have him on today, so we'll try to explain it to him.
Yeah, hopefully he'll call in or something, go down, where we can get the... I don't know what he was, like a colonel. I don't know what he was, what his formal title was.
I don't know. I didn't know Jason Weller was a fucking espionage fucking... Was it? What's it called?
Fucking merchant marine. No.
No, he was a domestic fucking killer. Or,
Domestic...
veteran? I don't know what it was.
Man. I don't know, but I just knew when he was talking about it. I could just see DG's eyes going.
What the fuck? He's protecting the president.
This guy, dude. Two years in, he was cutting potatoes and fucking doing laundry and shit. Then all of a sudden, they're like, "Hey, we need you to protect the president."
We like the way you're slicing them motherfuckers, huh? Fuck. And nobody knows this. The president don't even know this.
Of course, it's undercover, bro. He's got a secret what's it, throwaway phone?
That's why we got the greatest country in the world.
They call him.
We got people who could be whatever they want in their own mind.
Yep, call him up once a year. Hey, we need you to take out Gaddafi. I got you.
You can't talk about it. From he doing all this from his fucking recliner, smoking a joint. That's saving the world.
I love it, dude.
Domestic killer.
I don't even know what topic we were on right there, dude.
Fucking hypocrites.
Hypocrites. Land out. Oh, we should have rolled that in there, man.
What's that?
Zero tolerance, dude.
Zero tolerance for what?
Okay, so Viceland. I don't know if you watch Vice or Viceland. I'm sure people do. If they watch this show, they watch shit like that, dude.
I read articles from Vice, though.
And basically, they got a campaign going right now of zero tolerance, for separating families. Zero tolerance for, they just go down the line. It's a bunch of progressive liberal sayings, right? But they say they have zero tolerance for it. But when somebody on their side does it, it's overlooked. It's not even brought to their attention.
Oh, so that's what we're talking about, hypocrites.
Yeah. So we should have kind of rolled that in there, man. But
you go on it.
Well, like I was saying, I don't know that I have anything that's zero tolerance other than like stuff I don't do myself, Like I wouldn't kill a kid or molest a kid or do something real evil or something like that,
Well, zero tolerance for me is like no fucking back talk at the house for my kids. No back talk. I don't care if you're fucking. My daughter's 21. She's gonna be fucking 35. Whatever. There's just zero. If you're gonna speak to me like that, because we did our job. We're doing our job.
Yeah.
So we did our job as parents. I always tell my kids, your life is so easy, but there's zero tolerance in the house. No back talk. Do not fucking back talk. But I'm not like. I joke around with my son, or my daughter. We'll joke around with each other and clown each other and make fun of each other. But when I say, hey, this needs to be done, that needs to be done. There should be no fucking... That's my zero tolerance.
Well, that's why I think the hypocrisy, we should have rolled it in on that, because my issue is like when they say no separating children of the illegal immigrants, that type of thing, right?
Okay.
Well, this shit was going on for a long time. Like, I saw that they signed it in... They signed the bill where that shit goes down like in 85, right? It was updated in 2014, And so this shit has been out there for like 30 years. This is the rules, and they're acting like Trump rolled into office and first day he was like, hey, we're going to start separating people at the border. No, that law was already in place, man. And they're saying there's zero tolerance for that, but they're not willing to look back 3 or 4 years to when it was going on then.
There's a few things that are the problem with all this. For one, is social media, right? It's blasted out of what's going on. Because if this stuff happened 20 years ago, we wouldn't know about it, right?
Yeah, that's
because
true.
of social media, right?
And because the media outlets were controlled. You know, they were controlled. Now they're uncontrolled.
Well, there's so many outlets you can go get your
That's
information
what it is.
from.
I mean,
yeah, it's just in your face, and everybody's trying to get the next fucking issue. They're trying to get it out there. They're trying to be the first one. So that's where you get a lot of invalid news places because they're not doing the research. They're not taking the time to check into this.
Yeah, they're just saying like Trump paid 2 hookers to go piss on Obama's bed he stayed at the Kremlin or something, right?
And you know what? If you want to believe it, you're going to believe it, regardless of your thing. And if you don't want to believe it, they could show you a video of him pissing on somebody. You're not going to believe it if you're a follower.
Yeah.
And if you're not a follower and you hate Trump and they come out and prove that he didn't do it, you're still going to believe he did do
Like
it.
they're running one right now with Tom Arnold, you know, Roseanne's old husband.
Okay.
And he's doing the Trump files. Like, did Trump
I kind of seen. I didn't watch it, but I mean, I kind of hear something about.
I don't think it started yet, but
Okay.
he said something about like, did Trump say the N word? The piss tapes.
That's what I don't understand. Okay, obviously he uses the N word. I think he uses the N word probably all the time. Why all of a sudden we so surprised about this though? I think most America does. That's why I'm calling about hypocrites, because most America talks like this, but then they're so like, oh my gosh, did you hear these? But these are the same people who are saying, oh my gosh, did you hear the president might have said the N word? But that person probably uses the N word in private in jokes.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
And here's what I gotta say about that shit too, man. Is if he said it, they had a tape of Trump saying the N word and stuff, right? That shit would have been out a long time ago, because that's more. That gets in people's minds more when you're talking about racism than fucking grabbing pussy or something.
But I mean, for most people, I would say behind closed doors, that's how they talk.
Yeah.
Right. So I guarantee the people who are upset at him saying that are the same people who does the same jokes behind closed doors.
Well,
That's what I'm talking about. Hypocrites. Like I don't use the word. I fucking don't use the word at all. So I can say that, but I already know people who will tell me. This is what people will tell me. They'll say, yeah, that's wrong. People shouldn't do that. And then when there's no one around, I hear him talk like that, like using it in a joke.
Yeah, but
and I'm
you were that way too. You've just evolved.
It evolved. Correct.
Yes, you just evolved.
Right.
But that's why they're hypocritical on their zero tolerance. It's all wrapped into one there, because if I went back on you 10 years, or like they're doing with Trump, they're going back like 25 years, right?
Okay.
Fuck. 25 years ago, I was, 19 years old? I was a dumb idiot.
But what I don't get is who didn't know. What did we. I mean, I don't know if we talked about this before, but first of all, if you're a developer, you're a shady fucking businessman. I don't know any developers who aren't fucking shady, who don't try to stiff people on money, who don't try to screw people over, who don't make backroom deals. I don't know anybody. So if you thought Trump wasn't this shady backdoor making deal kind of person, like, and all of a sudden now you think, well, you come to find out he's got all these people. He is who he is. He's being who
here's
he
what
is.
it is. All the people that voted for him know he was shady.
Right.
They know he cheated on his wife. He's been married 3 times or whatever, right? They know this guy.
Why are we shocked by this?
Why they voted for him? Why I voted for him too is because the change he was talking about is the kind of change I want to see. You know, that's what he's talking about. I want to see laws followed again. I want to see us get a different form of healthcare. I want to see us get better on the tax thing. We were going over that tax thing earlier, man, and we are so super fucked on that. You know, that's why I don't care if he grabbed somebody in the pussy. I don't care if he said the N word or whatever, because like you said, I mean, I must know. I don't know, 5-10 jokes that are racially motivated jokes. And you either slip in the N-word or you say something bad about a Jew or a Mexican or whatever. You know, you intermix those type of races and stuff. And I'm saying the joke because I've heard it somewhere else. It's not like I came up with this material and I'm not fucking funny. You know what I mean?
Oh, I heard one the other day. You want to hear it? What do you call a black person who flies a plane?
I don't know.
A pilot, you racist fuck.
Right?
That was a good one.
Pilot. I remember when we were there jumping off the bridge.
I don't know.
And it was like, a white guy, a Mexican, and a black guy are up on the bridge. And they're catching. One of them catches a fish. The fish comes up. It's like, hey, if you let me go, I'll give each one of you a wish. But you just have to jump off the bridge. So the white guy gets up there. He jumps off. He says, I want to be an eagle. And he turns into an eagle and he flies. He gets up there and the Mexican guy jumps off. He says, I want to be a shark. So he becomes a shark and he jumps in the river. And then the black guy gets up there and it jumps and he goes, oh, shit. And then he hits the water.
When I say that, I always throw like different, I'll put maybe the white person as the fucking punch or the joke or whatever. I'll mix it around.
That's what you do. That's the audience part of it.
Because it's all fun and games.
Because if Chappelle's telling a joke and the white person's not the brunt of the joke, it's not the same.
Yeah, but he does go into blacks and Mexicans.
Oh, yeah, but I'm just saying, for instance, he
does more observant stuff. Like he's observing.
There's also the flip side, like Chris Rock. He gets down on black people more than I've seen anybody else get down on them, dude. And that's part of his scheme or his fucking rhyme to reason,
Right, he points out some obvious shit, like with people, but yeah, I think if people who are fucking so shocked about all this and like we're gonna find this out, like he is who he is. Like, what do you? I was listening to this pastor speak this week, and he
Farrakhan?
No. This was actually the pastor that was first. I forget his name now. He was a black pastor. He was, when Trump got elected into office, he was actually brought in for spiritual advisor with a council.
Oh, Al Sharpton.
No. Fucking Al Sharpton. No.
Jesse Jackson.
So this guy comes in, right? And he's trying to go with it. Like, he got a bunch of criticism for going in there in the first place, right? Because everybody says Trump's racist or whatever. But his thing is, I got to go in there and I got to try to create a dialogue, a line of dialogue, right? And then he realized he was there for just kind of be propped up or whatever. And then he was like, what got him was the Charlottesville thing. So he eventually resigned, right? But he was talking about this. And he said, like, people who support Trump, if they're honest with themselves and that's who they want, then you can't argue with that. You can't say, well, he's this and he's that, because that's who you wanted. He's all the people I have issue with are the fucking Christians who say he is our spiritual leader, our spiritual advisor.
Dude, if you're looking at Trump for your spiritual leader, dude, come on.
That's his point. His point is, dude, he is not. Like, you can't say that. Don't say that. You know?
I will say this about it, though, man. I've heard him bring up God or the name of God or love of God or thank you, God. I've heard him say that stuff more than I have any other president, man.
You're on crack cocaine, bro.
Yeah, right.
If I heard somebody the most say it, it'd probably be maybe Bush Jr. I probably heard him say it the most out of anybody. But still.
Dude, we're going to look that up because I think Trump is leading by 23% in that category.
But this is the part of hypocrisy, is that he goes and calls someone fat or ugly or whatever, and then the Christians are like, yeah, but we didn't vote a spiritual leader. Yes, you did. Stop lying about it. Stop saying that. Like, he is who he is. He's not a Christian. He's not a man of God. Like, he is who he is. And if you're okay with that, then you don't have nothing to argue about. You can say, I'm okay with this. I don't give a fuck. This is who I want.
Yeah, but you're basically grading, or you don't know Trump's spirituality or the way he talks to God.
We know what he says and how he acts. That's all we know.
Yeah, but I think a big part of that is it is an act. I think that's what it is, and that's what people get lost on. Like we were talking earlier, he is the master at this. We're about to pass Obamacare right here. This is what's going on. We're going to pass Obamacare. But then Trump comes out and he says, Rosie O'Donnell is a fat slob.
Right.
So all of a sudden, all the media focuses off of this, and they're like, "Oh my God, he called Rosie O'Donnell fat."
The problem with all that is he's not doing anything to fucking unite people, like find a commonality.
Oh, like Obama did, like Obama united.
I think he did. I listened to Obama when he was talking. Yes, I think he did.
Yeah, right.
Extremely.
Race relations are worse off than ever before, and it's because of Obama. No. Yes, it is.
What did he do?
Nothing. That's what I'm saying.
I seen the thing.
What did he do in his own place, Chicago?
I seen this thing. They asked him about the kneeling, and he said, "You know what?" He goes, "I don't agree with it, it's the opportunity of being American to able to kneel. He goes, I think there's another platform for it, but he says everything that's
I'm glad you brought that up.
politically correct. Like that's what the president's for, though. He's for
but you voted for Trump. I did because he's different. Because I don't want that fucking
I can't.
cookie cutter.
I'm still fucking in like I'm in the Twilight Zone right now. I'm watching this and I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't want that cookie cutter president. I don't want to fucking. I like what he's doing. That's my point of view on it. But on the kneeling shit, right? So I told you I was watching that movie Giant. It's an old school movie. Rock Hudson, Elizabeth Taylor, James Dean, Dennis Hopper. So the kid, they all go off to war. They come back. One comes back in a casket, right? The flag's draped over the casket. At the end of the ceremony, they fold the flag up. They give the flag to the mother.
Okay.
I want to see some motherfucker kneel when they're doing that. Because that's the type of disrespect that's going on to people that have those flags.
No.
Do you have a flag?
no.
See, that's what I'm saying. I have one right in there in the living room, and it's from my dad.
That's
you know?
the narrative. You're trying to change the narrative.
No,
of why
I'm
they're
not.
kneeling.
I'm saying why some people are so upset about it because the flag is different meaning to different people. Some people are just willing to disrespect it with no regard at all. Where to some other people, they have it in their house. It's part of their decoration in their home, showing that one of their loved ones died for this country.
These people love the country. These people are patriots that are kneeling. They love the country just as much as you do. They're protesting for a specific reason.
Dude,
so
and-
I don't
okay,
understand
and
why
so
we keep going
we're-
back. They're always trying to change the narrative. Well, they're fucking not patriots and they hate this country. They love the country just as much as
so what is
I love the country just
what
as
is the
much as
protest
you do.
about? What is the protest about?
About injustices to people of color.
That's the whole thing. There's nothing else it means. Or people aren't protesting for different reasons.
Well, there probably is people
Yeah,
protesting for
there's
different
no
reasons, but
commonality. There's no unity in that shit. And the other thing is, they're doing it at a football game. They're not doing it on Monday when they have a perfectly open
Wait, no,
stadium.
you know what? You said that, so I went online and looked.
Yeah.
These guys, especially Kaepernick, does so much that you never hear about for all these fucking programs in the inner cities. He does a lot. Just because the news don't push it out there during the week, they're just focused on them kneeling at fucking Sunday football. They're not focused on all the schools they're building, the fucking inner city programs they're doing. Like, I listen to these guys are like, oh yeah, we just donated like 10,000 backpacks to Chicago. We just donated all these turkeys to Louisiana. Like, you don't hear about none of this. So all the stuff that they're doing, that they're working with the police departments on trying to integrate local people that live in the community to be police officers. They're coming up with all this stuff we don't hear about. All we hear about is the kneeling.
And you know why that
So
is?
they do
man?
go through Monday
That
through
just
Friday.
goes to show you the hypocrisy of that media that's fucking putting the emphasis on the kneeling rather than the other shit that's going on.
Right.
So the kneeling takes place for what, a minute? I don't know how long the national anthem is.
So do you see that they're trying to take away, not show it on TV?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
I don't care, man. I really don't care.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's a non-issue. Like when we're having the fights and my dad, everybody's standing there with their hand over their heart for the national anthem and shit. My dad's sitting down and one of the other kids was like, Papa, why don't you stand up? He's like, I fucking fought for that flag. I do whatever the fuck I want. You know what I mean? I mean, that's kind of the way I feel about it too. Like, you do whatever you want, man. My choice is just to respect it. That's what I do.
Yeah, I don't think their intention is disrespect soldiers or flags or anything. I think they're just trying to bring attention to a certain.
I think it's like anything else.
I think if they
anything
went
else,
around
man.
and they protested a different way, they'd find a way to hate them when they protested a different
That's
way.
exactly what I was gonna say, man. It don't matter what you're doing. If somebody's hating on it, they're gonna hate, dude.
If they went out and they said, okay, we're not going to do that no more. We're going to protest silently in the front of the White House. They're going to say, look at these guys in front of the White House. Why can't they fucking spend their time? They're going to be hated on this. So there's no way they could try to fucking bring attention to something that they're trying to fix without getting hate on.
Dude, it could be anything. I mean, anything, man.
That's
Think-
what I'm
think
saying.
about it, yeah.
That's why the country's so divided right now. I mean, it's literally like 50-50 right now, where it's people are like, I don't agree with you and you don't agree with me.
You know what? Because I read up on that Venezuela shit, man. And one of the first things they did is they had a voluntary deal where you come and turn your weapons in, right? So if you had weapons, right? You turn them in, you get a bonus check or something because they pay all their citizens. They get paid a check from the government. Everyone does. Okay. So they get a bonus or whatever. But the people that didn't turn their guns and stuff in, now they're the criminal element. But since all this shit and the upheaval is going on this week, the only people that are eating, that are getting food and shit, are the ones with guns that didn't turn them in. Because now they could go up to the bread line and be like, fucking, they take their shit.
Yeah.
It's just, it's so, I don't know that it's funny, but it goes around and round like this with anything, like the media or the socialism that's going on there. And fucking people don't take the time to see both sides. I would rather see both sides. Like, okay, I'll argue kneeling for the flag, right? And you argue not kneeling for the flag.
No, I'll say I understand their point of view, and I understand their right to do that. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't allow my kids to kneel. But I'm just saying that if people will get like confused when you say you don't like Trump and he's a fucking idiot. They'll say, well, fucking Hillary. It's like, that doesn't mean I support Hillary. That doesn't mean I'm a Democrat. That doesn't mean I'm a liberal. That just means I don't agree with this. I don't agree. And I always say I don't agree with a lot of fucking social programs that they have. But I don't agree with the Republicans' point of view either. So I believe with my own fucking point of view. I don't follow any fucking outline.
But I think when you're saying that, like, you just prove the hypocritical part, because, you're saying that it's okay for them to do this, but I wouldn't let my son do it.
No, I'm saying it's their right. If my son said, Dad, I said no. But then he gets to where he's 21 years old and he decides to do that. That's his American right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We live in the greatest country in the world. The greatest country. Are we perfect? No. Are we trying to be better? Yeah. And I think that's where the people are protesting. They're just trying to get to a better place. But then also we're compromising some of who we are. I think there is a balance. There is a balance somewhere. Like now all of a sudden you can't say anything, right? You can't say nothing, right? And I think there's a place where we should, right now, the place where we're doing right here. I think we're allowed to say whatever the fuck we want. And that's why I like this right here, because you know what? After we're done, we give each other a hug and we go our separate ways. We don't take it personal, right?
Yeah.
I think that's where the country's lost, is they take it so personal. I mean, with the fucking from the fucking alt-right to the Antifa, I think they just fucking battling and fighting and shit. And I think they're taking it too personal. Like, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you this. So, everybody's in upheaval, and I agree. The KKK is a bad element of our society. They're still out there, right?
I just watched the documentary on them. They're shrinking, dude. They're shrinking.
Yeah, but I mean, there still are some out there. I mean, it's like 0.70%, but I mean, they're still out there, right? And that's like the same with Antifa. It's probably about the same. I would say the same amount of people that are going both ways. But the only difference is that these KKK guys are doing it in secrecy. These Antifa guys are wearing just the opposite. They're wearing black masks, black suits.
So what's better, though? To know who you are? Because
neither one,
I don't think the KKK is never going to be as strong as it was, because good always overcomes evil all the time.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people in this country have those same ideas, but they're just more secretive about it. So
that's what I'm going for. And with the Antifa guys, like, I've watched these rallies. Little Tiny up in Seattle, he's like a conservative, I would say libertarian kind of guy. I don't know that he's flat out Republican, but he is always in the middle when Antifa is doing something. He's a big Samoan or Hawaiian dude, and he handles shit, and he don't let nobody push it because he can't. I mean, the guy's like 6'6", 340 pounds.
Extremist.
But he's an extreme on the other side.
But that's what I'm saying. The extremists on both sides are fucking. That's a big problem. That's what I'm saying. The extremists on both sides.
It's put
you don't
out
have to be extreme,
dude. It's put out in the media. You see these guys burning cars, breaking windows at businesses. They're doing it's not a form of protest. This is terrorism. This is domestic terrorism. We do have a domestic terrorism expert. We should have had him fucking
Jason Weller?
Yeah, we should have had him come up on this topic, dude. But if they're not pushing that left or liberal agenda, which they are, it don't matter if it's grab 'em by the pussy or if it's Black Lives Matter, whatever the topic is when Antifa is there, right? The media would flip on them, but they're pushing their agenda, so they're okay with it. Because if I got anywhere near where I wanted to go and protest, right, I would show up fucking ready to battle if I had to. These guys are carrying rocks. They're carrying fucking hammers. They got mace, pepper spray, shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. Since when is it okay to go to a protest with weapons? You know what I mean? And that it's okay now.
I don't think it's okay.
they're allowing it to happen every time that there's a fucking.
I don't know if that's true or not, dude. I don't know if that's
Dude, look up those just check out the
I
Antifa
was
videos.
watching the KKK rallies, and they caught people with pistols, KKK members with pistols, and they were, and the guy was like, he made a good point because there was other people on the other side, and they were following these black guys, and they were just kind of listening to them, and they were protesting against these fucking alt-right KKK members and shit, and
it's funny how you say alt-right because the KKK party was brought and made by the Democratic
Party. But I'm just
Party.
saying that's who it is now. It is who it is now. Like you're saying, the far left is Antifa and stuff. That's who it is now. Yeah. It is who it is. So I'm not going to fucking argue and say, well, no, dude, Antifa is not fucking far left. It is far left. And,
dude,
and KKK is all right.
But where's this
all
happening?
Right is
where do you think the KKK members are?
Bannon. It's like these people who are subconsciously putting racist ideas out there to separate the fucking country.
But where do you think these KKK members are? You think they're in California?
They're everywhere. They're across They're across the world.
Yeah, but they're Dixiecrats. They're the ones in the South.
That was my point. The thing was, the guy goes there because they were arguing about the rebel flag, about not being racist. Yeah. He goes, it's funny how it's not racist, but every one of those fucking guys is holding up a rebel flag.
Yeah.
What does that tell you right there? We know what it is. We pretend that it's not. We're hypocrites. We pretend. No, the rebel flag's not racist.
Another good one for you.
It's not racist. It is racist. We know what it stands for. We know when we see a truck driving with the rebel flag, we know what that guy's all about. I know. I'm not going to say, oh, he's for all Americans. No, we know what he's about. He fucking hating Mexicans and blacks and Jews. We know that's what he's about. I know that.
Yeah, dude, that's what totally trips me out. If you learn the history of what's going on with it, I don't know how you can be a black individual and ever vote Democrat. I don't know how that could ever go down, dude.
Because they're voting for social programs in the city, which which I said was a false hope for people. That's why the Democrats do. They fucking give people false hope. They throw out all these social programs and we're going to help you, we're going to do this, and it's all bullshit. They're trying to buy your vote. Yeah. But I'm saying I don't know why they would vote. Why can't we vote for a Green Party or Independent? We got to fucking do something because this Republican, Democrats, bullshit. Republicans are just as bad as the Democrats. Dude.
Hey, I agree with that. And then here's the other thing. You do get a Libertarian or you get a Green Party guy in there or you have some type of American Freedom Party, somebody like that. They're going to be corrupted just like everyone else is. You got all these, I think it's on HBO, there are all these new senators, the first-year senators that come in, and they have the change in mind. Yeah, I'm going to change this. I'm going to make a difference. But then you're in a group of a voting block of 12 people, right? So they got one perspective on it, and the other 11 are like, hey, if you want your shit to go down, you have to vote for our shit. Mm-hmm. And so he has to back those guys, and then when it comes around for his shit...
They mix it all together.
They come around to his shit, though. They fuck him because he's a first-year senator guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, what the fuck? Well, yeah, you knew that was coming.
You have to play the game. When Marco Rubio first came on fucking on stage, everybody was like, oh, shit, this is kind of a good dude. And then when fucking, what's his name from New Jersey, Christie, came in on the fucking, and started fucking ripping him apart, because he was backdooring him for Trump. That's what eventually happened.
Yeah.
And Rubio, exposed Rubio for his lack of experience. Yeah. All of a sudden, Rubio kept saying the same thing over and over and over. And then you start realizing, oh, he don't really know what the fuck he's talking about.
Well, I think where he lost the ship was where he was talking shit about Donald Trump having small hands or something. And then Trump started getting back on, Little Marco or...
Well, I think it was Christie. Christie is an experienced politician. He buried him.
But what happened was Rubio made a face. He made a face like I got you, sucker face, like, And once you seen that face on him, you're like, oh, fuck, this guy don't know what he's doing.
Well, he said something and everybody's like, you know what? I even said, I was like, I kind of like Rubio. He started talking and then... Christie started fucking cornering him about shit and say, no, tell me what you really think about this and this and this and this, and start being detailed. And he kept reciting the same thing over and over. America's great or whatever. He kept saying the same thing, and he's like, oh, this guy has no fucking depth in him.
That's the same thing.
Then I lost interest in Rubio.
That's the same dude with, I'm blanking on him, but he ran for president. He still ran for president from Ohio.
Kasich?
John Kasich, yeah.
I like him. I like Kasich.
I wanted to see
He
Kasich.
was a played-out record, man. He kept saying, my dad was a mailman. He letter carrier through wind,
well, actually, listen to him talk. He's a smart motherfucker. And he's dedicated.
He's no different than Bill Clinton, man. Bill Clinton came up when fucking computers came up, internet came up, all that shit happened. Kasich is fucking balling in his state right now because of fucking that
I watched
that
Kasich.
drilling.
They wanted Kasich to be vice president.
Yeah.
Donald Trump campaign came to Kasich and said, "We want you to be vice president." He said no because Kasich is actually a man of God. I really believe he is, like George Bush was. These are the people I think, even if you disagree with their politics, whatever, you kind of see somebody talking, you're like, okay, he really believes in that.
Like Pence.
Pence is too.
Pence is a
too.
man of
He's a hardliner in that. And I listened to Kasich talk quite a bit, and I'm like, you know what? He is a man of God, and he said, I can't compromise my values to run with Trump, because we know what kind of Trump's all about. You know, he's kind of like a New Yorker, flash guy with whatever.
Yeah, but that
grab
right
by
there,
the pussy and stuff. He didn't. He said, you know what? I declined. He declined them.
That's there's your highest form of hypocrisy right there, dude. Is you got a guy that's supposed to be hardcore Christian, instead of putting people out there and saying, hey, you're doing this wrong. Maybe you should kick it with them and try to get them right.
Well, that's what they try to do. That's what I'm saying. The pastor that was listening to try to do. And he
said,
said,
that's what
he
Prince
said
does.
He's on Trump's such a narcissistic. He goes, there's no. You have to come to the table. He said with a fucking outline. Say no, we can't talk about that. We got to have an outline with him, because everything reverts back to him. Everything reverts back to him. And he goes, there's no change at this point. He goes, I realize there's really no change in him. Right? Yeah. Pence is different than Kasich, because Pence is like a hardliner. Pence is like, you're gay, you're going to hell. Kasich is like, Jesus wasn't like that. He wanted everybody to love everybody. And you know what?
He found out he had a gay daughter he didn't know about.
Well,
so then he flipped his
evolved.
script.
He evolved.
No,
right?
he had no choice.
I think you evolve when you find out things like that. I think you evolve. I listened to him talking. I listened to George Bush talk, and I don't like George Bush. I didn't like fucking. I think he was a fucking goofball. But I think he really cared about what he believed in. I think he really cared about the country. Yeah. Well, fuck.
Cocaine.
I don't like when they bring that shit up. I don't like when they bring up shit about Trump, about him cheating on his wife 20 years ago.
Well, that's where I respect Pence, dude. Because look at Pence. Pence won't go out to have dinner with a lady because he's not with his wife.
That's what I'm saying, hardliner. Like, dude, come on. Come on. You could go out and fucking have dinner with a fucking friend of yours.
Yeah, but that's his value. He's staying true to the game. He's not being a hypocrite, dude.
He is, because...
You're asking people to do that, and when you have somebody that actually does that shit, you're like, busting his balls.
I don't really care for Pence, because he's more of that hardline that I don't agree with. I'm more of the spiritual type of guy that, like, hey, we're all human beings. Let us all fucking live along. Like, he's not that. He's like,
when you guys
go this, you go to hell.
You guys all realize that... aliens created us. Your life would be a lot better, dude. That's the missing link right there. Hey,
are we gonna end it at that? Huh?
Yeah, but I saw a text on here. Master Sergeant Flory isn't gonna be able to make it, dude.
Okay. So next episode, we're gonna have
we'll
Greg Flory on.
We'll get Greg Flory on.
We didn't have enough time. We started talking.
He's got some killer stories, dude. Fucking.
Next episode, Greg Flory will be.
He's lived a life, dude. I mean, he's starting a whole new second life. I'm so proud of that guy, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean. Unbelievable. I do hate that we can't, ever make it work or just put the pieces together properly.
But to get him on the show?
Yeah, dude.
He'll be on next week.
Yeah, he'll be here next week, right on.
All right. So what?
We're good.
That's good. Yeah, we're over.
So let's next week.
Let me get. Oh shit! I didn't have this queued up, dude. Son of a bitch. Here we go. Hit subscribe.